Customizing the results for your state's structured analytic queries, otherwise known as SAQ. This is module 4.2.2. Steve Parenti here, University of Minnesota. So in our previous module, we customized the Proto4 program in the SAS server, and we created an Excel spreadsheet. So let's figure out how we're going to use this going forward to complete our exercise for this fourth module. So let's go over to, again, our SAS Studio. This is pretty much where we left off. We, again, we want to show, just to review it, we created a file. Let's see, where do we create that file? Under Files, and there it is. Under Files, we have, where is it? Week 4. Analytics, and let's see, where is it? It's right down here. There it is. PA New York MD. So we're just going to, like I said, double click on that. Now, we actually can see it here. This is actually what the log and results when it actually creates those sorts of things. But what we want to do is, again, download that. So we're going to do it one more time just to show you. Download file. It's just going to make a second copy of it. And it's super small, so it's fine. So we're going to open that file in Excel. Almost there. Alright. So a little messy. We're going to enable editing because we're going to play with this a little bit. But if you notice, if we open up the fields here, this is kind of what we wanted. The labels are pretty explanatory for what's there. Let's go back to our goal. Remember, our goal for this was to fill a spreadsheet. So let's bring that spreadsheet up. So here's the week 4 one. Notice we have these little black pieces here. That's all the fields that you're going to want to be entering in. And again, if we look at our Excel spreadsheet, here a lot of the pieces are already in play for us. So this MDC count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Recall what we're looking at here. These columns 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 is essentially the total population. We know this because it's type 0. So that's sort of all your states. This is going to be ESI. This is going to be, just as they're organized before, the fee-for-service, Medicare. This will be Medicaid. This will be, and I'm just doing this just so I don't forget, MA, and non-group. So you can really just take these as percentages here. Should work really well. Go back to our shell. Now actually here's a little trick, I guess. Remember, not all this stuff is what you need. So it's not just that. It's going to be 1 to 8. We don't actually count the folks with 0. You can add it if you want, but it's not to be messed with. And I'm just going to paste the values. I'm going to put in a percentage. I'm going to call that done. And then with asthma, they should organize the way we were setting them up here. Oh, whoops, I did the total. That was my bad. Let's do this again. ESI. Control C to our spreadsheet. So we're going to undo this. And I'm going to put these others in place. 11. Make sure that's the right ones. No, it's not. Whoops. Yeah. Sometimes undo does too much undo. Alright. So once again. Paste values. 12%, 14%, 22. Let's check that, make sure that's right. Yep, that's right. So that's the ESI population. We look at doing the ADGs. They're right here. Control copy. Plant these here. Paste values. There they are. So you get the idea. Basically mapping this whole piece out, and then you're going to get quizzed for your structured analytic query on these elements here. So let's again review what that looks like. Back to the course. Go to assignments. This is in draft mode, so apologies for it not working quite the way you might see it. Go to this week here. Oh wait, this is where you actually hand in the Excel spreadsheet. My apologies. When you're done, the quiz part is how this works. There's this. Okay. And we're going to do a preview. Okay. So we have each one of these things here. What's the percent of the ESI population and a major diagnostic count equal to 4? Remember to put in the raw numbers, like just 32. So week 4, sheet D15. Go there. There it is, D15. My advice to you, since you have to hand in this whole spreadsheet for your states, remember you customize it here, is to just do the whole spreadsheet. Check your numbers, make sure everything looks okay, and then do the quiz. That is this piece here. And fill out all these numbers and submit. And if you're outside the ranges, it will tell you. And then after that, obviously if you're done with that quiz, then go back to the table piece for the structured analytic query, and then all you're doing here is just basically uploading that Excel spreadsheet that you customized for your work, and that allows us to see that you've customized the right fields, because this isn't a group assignment, it's an individual assignment. And then that's pretty much how it does. And then just so we're clear, weeks 5 and week 7 are basically the same idea, just different programs to work with. So that concludes this week's module, where you're going to be getting into risk adjustment mechanisms. One thing fun about these programs and such is that actually it's one of my first major consulting gigs years ago with my spouse before she went to med school. It was I have to admit, quite edifying to use it. We used ACGs for the first time in a commercial population, actually over 25 years ago, and it really blazed the path for using them for much more specific actuarial analysis, breaking them out of the Medicaid model. So you're getting a first-hand look at something that was pretty cool in its day and still quite useful today. Actually, the ACG conference is now worldwide. One of my most recent doctoral students, Yi Zhang, used the ACGs in China to apply to commercial populations there for his PhD dissertation in Minnesota just 3 years ago. This concludes this module. We're going to go on from here to week 5, where we're going to focus on counting dollars for our prototype programs.